We thought Aegon was a goner when he was sizzling away like a fajita from El Paso. He got carried up in a crate, it got opened, they peeled it back, and what was in the tortilla? It was some crispy Aegon meat. Welcome back to Fog Entertainment. It's Season 2, Episode 5. We thought he was gone, he's no gone. Now the debate is, who's going to temporarily replace the king at the head of the table, brother? Is it going to be Alicent? Is it going to be Christian Cole? Or is it going to be the weird guy with one eye with his wee box of jalapenos to put on the tortillas? Welcome back.
Right, enough of the Targaryen meat fucking references here.
You got a problem with that?
I do, actually. I mean, once is alright, but when you have to say it
There's not enough Hispanic in this show, is there? No.
No, representation?
Aye, for tortilla references?
No, there's not. There's none, in fact.
There's actually...
Well, Christian Cole looks like he could be from Mexico a wee bit, doesn't he?
He does. From Mexico. Is that why he just got ousted out of the potential seat at the top of the table? I don't know, right? But we thought Aegon could have been dead. He's not dead. Can he recover from these injuries? He looks absolutely snookered. The black's behind the white. His skin is stuck together with Mel. I wouldn't wish this on anyone, by the way. Thought it was actually pretty good CGI / effects.
Yeah, it doesn't look good for Aegon. We are now at the halfway point of, I was going to say Game of Thrones, but it's halfway point of House of the Dragon. So this is obviously episode 5, season 2, called Regent. And according to Internet Movie Database, it is the lowest rated episode. Well, not according, it is the lowest rated episode from fans in the entire series, coming in at a 7.7, beating the previous low episode, which was episode 3 of this season. And you know what? I think that's a good shout. I mean, I think this was one of the weakest episodes, maybe even the weakest. Outside of the Aegon burns, where they were like peeling back the armor, that was probably the only thing I thought was pretty cool to see this episode. Everything else kind of sucked.
Yeah, the episode peaked 5 minutes in, and I don't know what the gimmick is.
It was basically, I thought this episode was just more Alicent and Rhaenyra basically bitching and complaining about the fact that they're women and they think that they're not being treated fairly in comparison to men. We had Rhaenyra, who was like pissed off the entire episode that people don't seem to believe that she can lead them in this war because she's a woman, even though her father never taught her anything, because she's a woman. Plus, she also mentioned the fact that her father had a peaceful reign and he didn't need to fight, he didn't need to get aggressive and whatnot. So she was kind of complaining that her council perhaps maybe didn't have as much faith in her as they would a man, as they would Daemon, for example. So we had that, and then Alicent, like, I've never seen someone get so cross and get so upset because her son got put in temporary charge. He was made I don't know what the correct term for it would be, but was it Regent? Is that the correct term?
It might be Regent. I'm not too sure. I mean, it's essentially the stand-in acting president is what we'd call acting king.
Yeah, now, acting king, call it what you want, and Alicent just was so upset that her son, Aemond, got it. When you think about it, I mean, Aemond... why shouldn't Aemond get it? Like, Aemond is the brother of Aegon. Aegon's son was murdered, I believe, in the end of episode 1, beginning of episode 2. So
they're in a war, they can't exactly use a 5-year-old. For me, if you rank the 3 options, it's got to be Aemond. Well, I would actually say Christian Cole might have a shout considering he's a hand.
Yes, but now, even if Aegon's son, you could argue Aegon's still got a daughter. She can't get it until she comes of age. So, for me, the right person to step in is Aemond, but Alicent didn't see it that way. She said, no, I've ruled before when the King Viserys wasn't well. But here's the issue, when she was ruling before, it was peaceful times, there wasn't a war. Now there is a war. And I think I can respect a leader more when they're actually fighting, see when they're on the front line. Like, you look at Aemond, he's got out in this dragon, he's the one that killed Rhaenys and whatever her traitor dragon was called. Forget the name of it.
The dragon that got paraded through the city in this episode.
But you look at Aemond and he's actually willing to sacrifice. He's putting his life on the line. Shouldn't he be the one leading? just wouldn't seem right for me if Alicent was doing
Yeah,
it.
she's claiming because she led when Viserys was injured or incapacitated, she should be. Yeah, but
You weren't in a war.
You weren't in a war, and I think because this show is incredibly woke, and as we've touched on, they're trying to force this like feminist agenda. It almost feels like Rhaenyra and Alicent are the same character to me. It actually, that's what it fucking feels like.
Yeah, they're like a mirror of each other.
They've got the exact same tendencies.
But everyone agreed that Aemon is the next in line. He's the successor. So he gets put...
But no, but if you don't notice that though, it's like, see when a show like goes for this woke tendencies, like see when shows portray strong men going against each other, they never feel the same. They feel different. But in this modern day age, when you've got strong women going against each other and these woke fucking... They feel like the exact same character.
Because their grievances are pretty much the same. It's both... We're being treated unfairly. We're being looked upon differently because of our gender. Although I know the gender police would say, hey man, there's 297 genders. Nah, there's 2. But you know, so they're being looked down upon because of their female gender. But here, you're being looked down upon because... First of all, you're a woman, and you're not going out to fight. You know, you're not the one. You're not going to put your life on the line. I mean, fair play to Rhaenys, she actually did.
Yeah.
But I mean,
Targaryen grandma.
But even then, it's like, is that bullshit? Because like you look at Game of Thrones, and Game of Thrones has come way after House of the Dragon. But when you watch both shows, you would be led to believe that Game of Thrones is like fucking centuries behind House of the Dragon with how far women have come.
Yeah. No, you would.
I don't think... See prequels, like, see when... Maybe if they're both made in, like, the same sort of time, but see the fact that Game of Thrones was made when the world wasn't woke, and then House of Dragon was made when the world is woke, but it's supposed to be beyond and before Game of Thrones. It just doesn't work for me.
No, it doesn't work for me either, and, you know, if you can't see this, then you're blind to the problem.
You're blind. So yeah, Alicent is raging that Aemon. She claims that he's reckless. I mean, he just defeated. He defeated Rhaenys. He took out one of Team Green's or Team Black. What Team Black? Aye, Team Black took out one of Team Black's Team Rhaenyra's biggest dragon. I think that might have been their second biggest dragon. So I mean, yeah, he's done a good job there. And it seemed to be... How was it reckless? It was Aemon and Christian Cole had that planned.
Alicent, I don't understand
if Aemon is reckless, then that would mean Christian Cole is also reckless. It's not like Aemon just randomly... If anyone's reckless, it was Aegon. He wasn't supposed to be there.
You just
Aegon got drunk and took to the battlefield.
But see, for any of like the graphics that they're showing for this on TV with adverts, it's Team Black against Team Green with Alicent against Rhaenyra, even though it should be Aegon against Rhaenyra. That is the king against the queen that, you know, they're claiming to be. Alicent doesn't have a fucking claim.
But yeah, you watch, anytime you're watching like TV and you see House of the Dragon be promoted, it's always Alicent versus Rhaenyra.
Yeah.
It's never King Aegon versus... And people will say, well, that's because Aegon doesn't make the king is seasoned. Well, why not Aemon versus Rhaenyra then?
Yeah.
What it really should be is Aemon versus Daemon, but I mean...
That's what it should be.
That's still to come, apparently. I can't wait for that battle. But, I mean, they both kind of look the same a wee bit.
Yeah.
They're both the best two, I think, on either faction, so... Yeah, you've got that. But anyway, Alicent really wasn't happy that Aemon, her son, was put in charge, and Rhaenyra wasn't happy that everyone was doubting her. Corlys didn't really seem that upset, to be honest, about his wife, Rhaenys, dying. I expected more for Corlys in this episode. For some reason, he just
cried like a little bitch. Or hasn't that family done enough to kill my family? Fucking do something about it then instead of limping around like a loser. Honestly,
hold on, didn't Daemon like literally cut your brother's head off? And you didn't even have the balls to say anything to him. Didn't even address that.
No, what's the actual fucking... You know, see, considering this guy's black, and we're talking about how woke the show is, I'm fucking surprised this guy's not been booked way stronger than what... He's actually been booked as one of the weakest characters in this fucking franchise.
I mean, he woke up, his brother was dead, and he was like, well. It just...
Does he look like a Targaryen?
Just makes no sense to me. So yeah, you got him. He offers to give... What's his title again? Something of the sea?
Driftmark?
He offers to give Driftmark to his granddaughter, but his granddaughter's like, no, you can't because I'm not a sea emblem. I'm a
Fire
fire
and
emblem.
God, Mama Targaryen sort of thing.
what a load of shit.
No, but how weak does that make him though? I think it even makes him look weak there. That she actually like it's because he's that pathetic. She has like the balls to say to him, no, I don't want it.
I can't believe people think this is better than Game of Thrones. Like I really can't. I haven't watched the last like few seasons of Game of Thrones. I don't see how bad it can be for it to be worse than. I would probably say that if I had to take a guess, I would guess that the worst season of Game of Thrones is probably better than the best season of House of Dragon.
But according to people, that can't be true. You know, we're talking like 4 ratings out of 10 that people are giving like the final 2 seasons of Game of Thrones. We'll have to wait.
I tell you what, I don't think season 2 of House of the Dragons on much more than that.
No, it's probably not.
I mean, I think you'd struggle to give it above a 4.
But see this episode, man, it sucked. You just had Daemon doing his
thing.
Yeah,
Daemon's getting the hallucinations and the dreams and just dreaming.
I need those men on my side. The fact that they weren't going to even join us, they'd rather be burned. I need those men.
Yeah, so Daemon then says, look, either join us and you put aside your differences with the other family, or you die by fire. Then the guys are like, we fucking hate that other family, so we'll take our punishment, we'll die by fire. And they turn around, I guess, to take the flames of Daemon's dragon, and he just lets them go. It's like, that's very weak, isn't it? You can't give someone an ultimatum and then like not carry out the ultimatum when they pick a side.
Yeah, I think this almost like undermines the character of Daemon, him letting them go.
It'd be like if it's like you're threatening to fight someone, you're like, here, see if you touch me again, I'm going to knock you out. And then, like, they touch you and you don't knock them out. It's like, you kind of...
No,
once you commit to something like that, you kind of have to do it.
I don't like the Daemon character, to be honest, but I think they've butchered him in season 2. I think he's just been hallucinating, and he's just looked incredibly weak. He's like the White Corlys. He's not doing much.
Yeah, I mean, I thought he was an arsehole in season 1, but I still think he was one of the better characters.
Yeah, season 2.
And season
he's like no man's land. He's just with a bunch of nobodies.
Yeah, Christian Cole and Alicent, they had some conversations, nothing really spectacular, though. Alicent wanted to know, what happened out there.
I think if Christian Cole backed Alicent in the chapel of the council, it would really like so. Like, they're not supposed to know about their relationship. Why would he fucking back her?
Why did he back himself?
I don't think he wanted any of it.
Shouldn't the hand?
He didn't want to be hand, so it makes sense.
Yeah,
but want to be king.
Shouldn't the hand of the kings basically VP?
Yeah, Aemons just went for, standing up and being bollock naked to being the top man all of a sudden.
So I didn't quite get that. We had a scene with the woman that used to have the whorehouse in season 1. Oh, done nothing for me.
Yeah, why is she being portrayed as this like major character? She's a nobody.
She doesn't do anything, doesn't offer anything. Yeah, she might.
White man bad.
She might be on Team Black, but I mean, what does she do? We also didn't get Otto Hightower in this episode.
I haven't seen him in ages.
What did we get in this episode?
You had Jace at the end, right? Go to Rhaenyra after he was at another location, pretty much threatening with dragons. He's trying to get people that are like, but we don't need baby dragons. We need big dragons, which is a valid point, because if you said you had 15,000 bodies you're going to bring, you wouldn't bring 15,000 babies, you'd bring able-bodied men.
Yeah, so one of the allies, they're not happy. They were given 2 dragons. Well, first of all, Jace makes it sound like they were given a good deal, because they were promised 1 dragon, they were given 2. But they were given, like, baby dragons that fucking can't even...
It would be a good deal if they weren't in the middle of a war, right? I think, well, not a good deal, but it would be, like, alright, reasonable. But the fact that you need them, it's not a good deal. For that reason alone.
Yeah, they need the dragons to protect themselves, and they've got 2 dragons that can't do shit. So, yeah, that was a bit boring. Just nothing really happened.
And at the end, surely there must be someone in the bloodline who can ride these dragons we've got underneath our feet. When they look around and there's all this paper in the wall. Can't wait to be introduced to more fucking incestuous jobbers.
Yeah, so the episode basically ends with Jace coming up with the idea that apparently they've got 2 massive dragons available, but there's no riders to claim them. And Jace then suggests that they go through the entire Targaryen bloodline to see 2, I don't know, available family members that could claim these dragons.
Am I not weird to think that anyone with Targaryen blood we should have already seen in this show?
Yeah.
Like, where are they just going to whip them from?
And I guess Jace believes that here, if we get these dragons and we get 2 dragon riders, that will help tilt the war in our favour, because apparently the 2 dragons that they've got available are massive. So, like, that's it. I mean, we're not really... I don't think we're missing anything. It just... not a lot happened. I liked the scenes where they were taking off the armour of Aegon and you got to see the burn. It was pretty good. I like that scene. Alicent's looking on. Will he live? I don't know. We don't know. I mean, he might live. I mean, at this point, I think with all the detail and the visual effects, it'd be good if he did live. It'd be a bit crap if they took all the armour off him and he was all burnt, but we never see him again.
Yeah, well, it would be crap. I think you will live, and we will see him in some capacity. Well, he obviously will live, but I don't think he's going to be bedridden for the rest of the show. I think that would suck.
I know if Viserys was bedridden, like, so.
Yeah, at an age where I wouldn't say it was acceptable, considering he's only 4 years older than Daemon, but I mean, Aegon's like what, 20, early 20s. It's far too early for the guy to be bedridden, man. And I actually think he's likable. I've seen a lot of people say they hate him. I don't see how.
Yeah, I thought
he actually fucking went into the battle.
People say he's like Joffrey.
He's way better than Joffrey.
He's nothing like...
maybe not as a character he's better, but in terms of like from a moral standpoint... and
yeah, I'd say respectability, and he's definitely more likeable than Joffrey. And he acts more like a king than... Joffrey was just like a spoilt fucking brat. So yeah, in terms of the rating, for me, this episode didn't do it. I'm going to get a 4 out of 10.
Yeah, I'm going to give it a 4 out of 10 as well. Very lacklustre, and I mean, we're not talking 40-minute episodes. We're talking an hour and 12 minutes. We also seen the guy that claimed to be a Targaryen, son of Viserys.
Bastard son, or
I think he was. Did he say he was Viserys' son, or was he Viserys' brother? Because he looks a way bit older. He looks a lot older actually than Aegon and Aemond. So maybe he's the brother of Daemon and Viserys, right? But where's this going? See this guy's claim, if they're going to ever attempt his claim to the throne, it's never going to work. And actually, we were speaking about Hispanics. His wife looked a bit Hispanic.
Maybe he can ride one of these dragons that they've got.
Maybe that's probably what they're doing.
Anyway, guys, that's it. 4 out of 10. Pretty boring episode. Not a lot happened, and yeah, hopefully going forward we get to see more. But for me, Game of Thrones way better than House of the Dragon. Let us know your thoughts down below, and we'll catch you in the next one. Till then, peace.